Greetings fellow guitar travellers, it's Rowan J. Parker back yet again for another episode of Music Theory. Now, in the last few episodes we've been looking at scales, major scales, how to learn those ones. In this episode we're going to look at the harmonic minor scale. So if you wake up in the morning and drink your cup of tea and coffee and think, what shall I do with my life today? And you think, well, I shall learn all 12 harmonic minor scales. Well, this is the very video for you. However, if you know all 12 of them, turn this video off right now because it'll be a total waste of your time and that will never do, will it? Alright, now, before we get into it, you know what's coming, don't you? Oh yes, we're going to plug that website. It's www.roundjparker.com. Go check it out. A lot of free resources on it, and there's a shop where you can buy things. You can also contact me via the website for Skype lessons. So go and check it out. Let's see what other wares can I hawk to you. Well now, so you can check all my stuff out on YouTube, which is free, of course. There's about 400 videos up there on all sorts of subjects, from shred to more shred to yet more shred, and then occasionally jazz and theory and other things like that. I've got backing tracks on SoundCloud, and if you want to support me but you don't want to buy my stuff, though why on earth you should not want to buy my stuff is beyond me, but if you don't, you can always support me on Patreon. So throw me $1 or £1 or any currency, any negotiable currency in the world will do. You can donate to Patreon. If you like all these videos, and I'll keep them coming for you, I'm going to try and stay right on it 2017 and keep all the videos coming. Alright, so let's get on with the lesson. You will need the trusty paper of destiny and the pen of greater destiny. So get yourself a pen and a bit of paper, and we're going to do harmonic minor. Now I'm going to show you a couple of ways of thinking about the scale and creating the scales in two separate ways. All right, so let's outline to you the first method for creating harmonic minor scales. We require what's called a construction formula or an interval formula for harmonic minor, and the construction formula for harmonic minor is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7 and 1. So let me just write that out for you. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7 and 1. That's my little Germanic 7 there. Okay, so how does this help us? Well, for instance, if we take a scale that we do know, a major scale that we know, like C major for instance, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, we can create C harmonic minor just by applying the construction formula to the notes of the C major scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1. So let's do that and see what we get. So 1, which is C, 2 is D. Now flat 3 used to be E, but we're going to flat that, so it's going to be E flat. And then F, G, 6, we need to flatten the 6, so it used to be A, we'll flatten it down to A flat, and the 7 stays as is B. So using the construction formula, we're able to create C harmonic minor, which is C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B and C. Okay, now we can do this provided we know the notes in our parallel major scale. So let me just illustrate another scale. Let's think about G harmonic minor. To create that, we need to know the notes in G major and then flatten the 3rd and flatten the 6th, and that will get us G harmonic minor. So let's just do that. G major is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp and G. Alright, so that's 1, G, A, B, we have to flatten the B to B flat. C and D stay as is, 4 and 5. The E will need to flatten that to E flat, and the F sharp will leave that one alone. Okay, so we can follow this procedure for all the scales if we want to create harmonic minor this way. So we take the notes in that particular major scale and we apply the construction formula, flattening the 3rd and flattening the 6th degree, and that will change from a major scale construction formula to the harmonic minor construction formula. So this is a way of looking at scales in parallel, where we create the harmonic minor scale from its parallel major scale by making the alterations. Okay, so To do this, and I'm going to set you as a task to do this, you will need the notes in all 12 major scales. Now, if you don't know the notes in all 12 major scales, then refer back to my previous video, which I think the title is Effortlessly Learn All 12 Major Scales, or something like that. So go and watch that video, take those 12 major scales, then apply this construction formula to it, and you'll get all 12 harmonic minor scales. All right, so that's method number 1. Method number 2 is a little bit different because we're going to be looking at things in not a parallel sense, but we're going to use the relative minor scales to create the harmonic minor scales. We'll end up with the same thing, it's just a different route of getting there. The analogy might be, if you want to climb Everest, well, there's several routes up the mountain. It's not just one route. You can go the easy route, you can go the hard route. There might be 2 routes which are round about the same, which will all get to the summit, get to the goal. It's just which route you prefer. Though sometimes, in certain routes, I mean, there's the nice gentle slope up mountain probable, as it were, and then there's the north face of the Eiger, and unless you're a hardened warrior, you don't want to be going up the north face of the Eiger. So I always look for the gentle slope up mountain probable. It's easier in the long run, even if it takes longer to get there. All right, so let's flip the paper over and do method number 2. All right, so this time we're going to again start with C major, which is, as we know, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, every major scale has a relative minor. What is the relative minor of C major? And the answer is, the relative minor lies upon the 6th degree of the major scale. So let's just count up 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Amazing, I can count up to 6. It's the note of A. Right, so let's rewrite the scale underneath it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So this would be A natural minor, or if you insist upon calling it A Aeolian, it would also be that. Now, how to create harmonic minor from natural minor? You need to raise the 7th degree of the scale 1 semitone, because we need to change the interval from a minor 7th or a flat 7th to the interval of a major 7th or regular 7th. So in that case, harmonic minor A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. And this is the method that I prefer for harmonic minor to get the understanding of the relationship between the major keys and their relative minor counterparts, because normally in actual usage that's how you'll be using it. You'll have a composition that will have some major scale harmony, and then often it will go into the relative minor harmony, which might also include some harmonic minor elements. So for me, it's better to put it together this way rather than the parallel construction, though understanding parallel construction is also very important. So let's get another little bit of paper, and we're going to go through all 12 harmonic minor scales, and I'll talk you through them and we'll write them out. All right, back in a jiffy. Bag. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let's get into this. So opening up with C major, relative minor, A minor, let's write out A harmonic minor. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and A. Now, the next key in the cycle or circle of fifths is the key of G major. What's the relative minor to G major? The answer is it's E minor. So E natural minor, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. So taking those notes, and we just need to sharpen the 7th. So E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Let's raise that 7th degree, D to D sharp. Voila, we have E harmonic minor. Let's do the next key now. The next key along in the circle of fifths, 2 sharps, would be D major, relative minor, B minor. So let's write out relative minor scale, B minor. Remember, these relative minor scales contain exactly the same notes as their major scale counterparts. We're just starting upon the 6th degree of the scale instead. Alrighty, so we've got B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, and B, but we must raise the 7th degree to A sharp, and that spells B harmonic minor. Alright, let's keep cracking on. Next key is A major, 3 sharps. 3 sharps, so relative minor, F sharp minor. Let's write out the F sharp minor scale, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E and F sharp, and we must raise the E to E sharp. Now at this point you might be going, whoa, 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 E sharp? Surely that is just the note of F. Well, inharmonically that is correct, it is the note of F. However, in this scale we can't spell it that way. It must be spelled E sharp because the scale needs to be alphabetical and contain one of each sort of intervals. So there needs to be a first, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. If we were to spell the note as F, then we'll be saying that the scale has two roots and no seventh. Well, now major scales, harmonic minor scales, can't have any more than one root. So we must spell it E sharp for technical reasons, okay? Right, crack along now. So the next key after A would be E major, 4 sharps. So let's write out the relative minor is C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and C sharp, and now we must raise the 7th degree, so again we have to sharpen the B to B sharp. Yes, I know it's enharmonically C, but we must spell it as B sharp to make the scale consistent intervallically. Alright, okay, so we're on E major, now on to the next key is 5 sharps. There's a whole lot of sharps, sharper than a drawer of knives, used that joke before. B major, relative minor, is G sharp minor, so let's write that out. G sharp minor, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, and G sharp. Right now it starts getting interesting because we already have an F sharp, but we need to sharpen that again, right? So if we do that, we have to doubly sharpen it. Now I know you're thinking, double sharp? Yep, it's not a knife with 2 points. It is when you take a note and you raise it twice. Now the symbol for double sharp is actually an X, like this. FX, special effects. SFX. Alright, so FX, F double sharp, which is enharmonically G, but again we can't spell it that way. It needs to be spelled F doubly sharped. Okay, so that deals with all the sharp keys. I'm not going to do the key of F sharp major because when we do the flat keys we'll catch that on the other side of the circle of fifths when we look at G flat, but it's the same scale. Alright, flipping over the pageo, an arpeggio. Right, very good. Let's do the flat keys, all right? So the first flat key is F, F major. All right, so relative minor to F major, well, that'll be D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, and D. We must sharpen the 7th degree, however, so C goes up to C sharp. Okay, now just a note on the convention on how to notate these things. The key signature for F and D minor would remain the same, 1 flat. The C sharp would be accidentally indicated in the actual notation. You don't have a key signature that mixes sharps and flats, at least not conventionally. I have seen some rather avant-garde nonsense which does have mixtures of sharps and flats and key signatures, but it's not real music. Well, no, it is real music, but whether you want to listen to it or not is another matter because it tends to make the oral cavity bleed, so maybe not so much. Let's crack on. All right, so next key is B flat major, relative minor is G minor. So write out G minor scale, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, and G. And we need to raise the 7th degree, F to F sharp. All right. Okay, so where are we now? We're on to the key of E flat, I do believe. So we've got E flat major, relative minor. That's going to be C minor. So C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C. Now we have to raise the B flat to B natural. So C harmonic minor, C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B, and C. Okie dokie, cracking along now. So next key along would be A flat. Now A flat relative to F minor, relative minor. So let's write out F minor, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, and F. Right, so in this case again we must raise the E flat to E natural, giving us F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E, and F. Okay, right, so we're almost there now. D flat. All right, D flat major, relative minor, B flat. Starts getting exciting now, right? So B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, and it would be A flat, but we need to raise that 7th, so it is in fact A, B flat. All right, so B flat, harmonic minor, not the friendliest of keys. B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A, and B flat. Okie dokie. And we're on to the very last one now. So very last one is going to give us G flat. All right, G flat major, relative minor, E flat minor. Okay, E flat minor, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, and it would be D flat, but we're going to have to raise that D flat to D. So this is D and E flat. Okay, so E flat harmonic minor, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D, and E flat. Phew, made it. That's all 12 harmonic minor scales. So the way that I prefer to look at these scales is to think about the major key, then think of the relative minor, because they are conjoined really in a harmonic sense. The first method, which I indicated initially, the parallel construction, that works perfectly well as well, gives you the same result. It's just a different way of getting there. The only objection I have to that method is that if I'm thinking about C harmonic minor, I don't really want to be thinking about any sort of C major, because they are not closely related scales at all, particularly. But it still can be a convenient way of thinking about them. So your mission then is to every day write out these 12 harmonic minor scales, and you'll find in absolutely no time you'll have, you know, Schwarzenegger powers of muscular recall. You'll be like, you know, Conan the Barbarian. Actually, I just imagine if Schwarzenegger, you know, took his book back to the library late, it would be Conan the Librarian or something like that. Oh, I'll maybe edit that. That was just a terrible joke. I've just got this vision of Schwarzenegger behind the desk in the library going "Roar!" with the sword and all that, you know, threatening people, saying, "Your fees are overdue." I can't do Schwarzenegger impressions, as you can tell. Right, okay, so apart from that terribly embarrassing end to that video, it was not too bad. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for yet another video on music theory. I think the next time we're going to do melodic minor. OMG, LOL. So, I'll see you next time, guys, and don't forget to check out the website and support me on Patreon, because I'm poor. See you next time, guys. Farewell.